So we are currently in Kanab, Utah. We are in the parking lot waiting to register for the lottery for the wave. Who knows if we'll be lucky enough to get it. The plan is to stick around for 3 days, try and win the lottery. If we don't get it after 3 days, we're moving on. But let's see if we're lucky or not.
So how this worked is basically you went into the gym, you filled out a form, it had a number on top of it, and then just like bingo, you have a bunch of wooden balls inside of a metal cage and they roll it and pick a number and you hope that your number gets picked.
So I was not successful with the lotto, which I'm not surprised because I've never won anything in my entire life. It was interesting though, I didn't know. So if you show up on Friday for the lotto, they actually pull for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which is nice. So you don't have to come back day after day. And our plan was to stick around for 3 days and try and win the lotto. But it's the middle of winter, it's freezing. I mean, the high is like 38 today. And there was still 100 people in the lotto. So February 1st, the number goes up, but man, you gotta have a lot of time and a lot of luck in order to get the lotto to get into the wave, and I just don't have that luck.
All right, race against the weather this morning. We are about 30 minutes outside of the wave at a place called Toadstools. The reason we are here is because we did not get into the wave, as Dre probably ranted about in a previous video. So, it's a 2 mile out. Still ranting about. It's a 2 mile out and back to see the toadstools, which are basically boulders on top of rock that's been eroded away, so they look like toadstools. So we're gonna go check them out, and hopefully it doesn't start raining, and we don't have a plan for after that, so we'll check back with you and let you know.
One of the main reasons why we're trying to see the wave was not only because of the unique sandstone features, but also because dogs are allowed to go on this hike. We love being able to take Maisha along with us and do as many adventures as we can bring her on. So when we had to pivot and change plans, we also wanted to pick things that we could do and have her come with us. One of the things that we absolutely love about living in our van is that when our plans do fall through, we have the ability to be able to go wherever we want, whenever we want, and sometimes that's when we stumble along some of the greatest little places and there's no one there and we have it all to ourselves.
Look at that. These toadstools are not holding on by much. That is crazy.
So this is a classic example of a toadstool. That rock on top rolled down at some point off these mountains back here. And that rock is a different consistency than the sandstone below it. And that sandstone below it wears away over time from rain and wind and whatnot. But because the rock is on top, it kind of protects it, so it forms these toadstools. Here's some of that red sandstone that's below the toadstool, and it gets pretty crazy because this is soft. This is not super duper hard. I mean, this is obviously harder, but it still wears off. It's interesting.
So we want to know, have any of you tried to apply to go to the wave? And if you did, were you successful? If you did online or in person, how many times did it take? And let us know how awesome it is in the comments below. It looks like the weather is gonna hold up for us. It is supposed to rain today, but I think in the afternoon, and we're only 30 minutes from Horseshoe Bend, so we're gonna go check that out really quick. Hopefully get a nice clear picture, and then I'm not sure where we're gonna stay tonight. We have to figure out if we're gonna go north and stay in Utah, or if we're gonna end up going south.
Although we are super bummed that this video wasn't showing you the wave and how unique and beautiful it is, there's so much to do within an hour radius of Kanab, Utah, including slot canyons, Horseshoe Bend, seeing other unique rock formations including the Toadstools and White Pocket, going to Lake Powell, and the list goes on. So we wanted to show you guys all this.
Woo! That is gorgeous. Reminds me of the Zambezi.
No crocodiles.
No crocodiles in this one, though. Which is nice.
On the walk out to check out Horseshoe Bend.
So we are currently at Horseshoe Bend. The weather did hold up for us, which is really nice. It was supposed to rain today, and it's actually sunny out right now.
And there's not a lot of people here.
Which is really nice, because I know people that have come and there's been like 1,000 people here, and that's just crazy. I can't even imagine what it looks like.
Yeah. There might be 60, 70 people here right now. And there's plenty of
There's
space.
that many?
Maybe.
Now we just have to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the day and where we're going to camp tonight, and if we're going down to Arizona or going up
To the southern part of Utah. Lone Rock. It's a Lone Rock. It's a nice looking Lone Rock.
As you heard from Wiley's commentary, we drove 20 minutes north and headed back into Utah to stay at Lone Rock.
We are camping at Lone Rock, which is on Lake Powell, not that far from Page, Arizona. And that's where we're staying, right on the beach. There's like only 3 other people here. We got it all to ourselves. We actually have the American Beautiful Pass, so it's free, which is nice. We like free. And then tomorrow we are gonna head up to Monument Valley and maybe Mexican Hat.
As the sun began to set, we quickly retreated back to the van as the wind picked up and sand was going everywhere.
Good morning, baby. Good morning. Hi, Mama. You want some breakfast?
I'm always the first one up in this family. Wiley is not a morning person and he doesn't like getting woken up early, so I usually get Maisha fed before I even wake him up for the day. And as you can see, Maisha just kind of goes with the flow. She'll usually get up once I start getting her food prepared.
She gets some protein, some veggies, and usually grain mixed in with her regular food. Maisha's been diabetic since she was 6, so she's had to get Nublin and shots twice a day. So every day she gets a shot in the morning and in the evening at 7:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m.
The kitchen area in our van is only 4 feet wide, and it is right next to the bed, so I usually kick him out of bed before I start cooking because it just gives me a little bit more room to work. But 95% of our meals are cooked in that kitchen area, and once we figured out a flow, I love cooking in that space. We learned very quickly how important it was to keep our tiny home on wheels tidy and organized for our own sanity. So before we head out to do anything for the day, the first thing we make sure of is that we make the bed and put everything away.
Look where we are this morning. So Maisha can never be off leash because she does not listen. It is not what she does best. So basically what we did is we had a run when we had our house, and this was the attachment from the run, and we just hook it to the back part of the van. So depending on where we are, we either hook it to the back hitch, or in the front we have that tow hook. And it's worked out pretty good because when she wants to be outside and we want to be inside, it gives her a little bit of freedom and space away from her parent. She's probably annoyed at us by now that she has to deal with us all the time because we like to hug her and kiss her and pick on her all the time. So she can be outside and enjoy the day a little bit. Which is actually in Utah. It's a campground that's right on Lake Powell. Apparently it is quite the party spot in the summertime. I could see why, because you could go swimming on the lake and camp on the beach. So that was pretty cool. And today is going to be more of a drive day for us, a scenic drive day. We're going to go check out Monument Valley and the Mexican Hat, which is all rock formations. So today's going to be more of a laid-back, chill day compared to what we normally do, but it's always good to have those kinds of days once in a while. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get too close to the monuments because everything in Indian Territory is closed because of COVID-19 right now. So this might be the closest views we get of Monument Valley. Guess we're doing the drive-by viewing.
So we're leaving Monument Valley and heading towards Mexican Hat. And with this view that we've got behind us, you can't not stop and take a few pictures because this is the actual spot that Forrest Gump was running in the Forrest Gump movie. So had to check that out. How can you not? So we're heading to Mexican Hat. We slept at a K-Way campground last night. Nothing's open inside the Native American territories because of COVID, so we're extremely limited, but after 6 days with no shower, you take what you can get.
Today is, as I mentioned before, a scenic drive day, and as we left Monument Valley, we went to the Forrest Gump Hill where that shot was taken, and you go down and see the scenic view into Monument Valley.
When he was running.
And now we are on our way to Moki Dugway, and we go through the town of Mexican Hat, so you can see behind us that is the Mexican Hat Rock. So if you take this scenic drive up here, check out the rock.
It's a cool scene. Balancing rock in a precarious position. I feel like a 60, 70 mile an hour gust of wind could knock it down, but I'm sure it's been here for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long it will be here, because it doesn't look like much is holding it up, and it's a pretty big rock.
Oh yeah. It's unfortunate that the Navajo territories are completely closed down right now. It is due to COVID. It is the right thing to do, but it limits us in terms of what our opportunities are while we're here.
So we are going to continue and move on. We made a quick stop to Gooseneck State Park. We just wanted to see what it was about.
Definitely worth a look. And for us, it's going to be perfect because there's picnic tables, so we're going to stop and have lunch here, and you can kind of explore the canyon rim. And it kind of feels like Horseshoe Bend. It's a deep canyon with a river at the bottom. Maybe not as grand as the Colorado, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah.
And there's nobody here.
Yeah. There's like 10 people here.
So it's definitely worth the stop if you're driving through the area. I can't see why you wouldn't. You're in between two canyons.
Do you want to know what some of the perks are of like having a dog with you? Because you carry pounds of poop every single day when you walk.
Sometimes for miles.
We have Gooseneck all to ourselves right now, so I'm going to make a little lunch, and Wiley is going to put up the drone because we can actually fly it here, get some aerial view of this San Juan River, and we're actually going to eat food on a table. We haven't done that in 2 months.
So, when you're driving down the road and you have your GoPro suction cupped to your windshield, generally not a good idea to accidentally hit the windshield wipers. I engaged the wipers by accident. It got stuck on the GoPro. It didn't pull it off. So I stopped. I jumped out. The van still had power, so the windshield wipers were still trying to push through. So when I dislodged the GoPro, we had a little mishap with our windshield wiper. I don't think this is supposed to happen, but it snapped clean off. We're not talking the plastic, we're talking metal windshield wiper. Decided to let go after 16 years. Add it to the list.
Luckily, it was at least the passenger side.
We'll see how it goes.
So we just turned on to Valley of the Gods Road, and we're gonna do all 17 miles to check out all the rock formations. We haven't decided if we're gonna camp here tonight, so we'll kind of see how long it takes us and how much moseying around the rock formations we do. But we want to see all 17 miles, so we are gonna drive it, and then we'll go from there to see how far we get tonight. So we didn't get very far in Valley of the Gods. We're probably only 8 or 9 miles in, but we were just seeing way too many cool campsites. This is where we decided to stay tonight. and we're just surrounded by the rock buttes, and we're gonna cut the day short because it's gorgeous and there's no one around and we have the place all to ourselves. So we will continue this tomorrow morning.